Photography on YouTube right now is much bigger than it's ever been and more fragile than people realize. Every week there's a new camera, a new lens, a new game changer, a new flash. There's always something new. But yet a lot of photography channels are struggling. That's not an accident. I've been a professional photographer for over 40 years, long before algorithms, thumbnails, and sponsorships. And I've seen bubbles form before, and they all look exciting right before they collapse. The bubble isn't photography itself. It's the content built on endless reviews and constant upgrades. Endless comparisons, endless hypes. When growth depends on what's new, it stops when the newness runs out. Now, first, let me say there's nothing wrong with reviews and comparisons. We enjoy them. I do them on this channel, and I'll keep doing them. I think the problem lies is we have YouTube, and then we have everybody in the YouTube world watching. And you've got everything from beginners, amateurs, part-time professionals, full-time professionals, people that have been shooting a few months, people that have been shooting over 40 years. And one review to one person is not going to be as relevant as another review is to another person. A beginner needs to hear a little different information than what somebody's been shooting for 25 years needs to hear. That's one reason I put out a post the other day to find out where everybody was or where everybody thought they belonged on the photography chart. 'Cause I want to know exactly where everybody in my audience is. Now, we've got a review ourselves coming up of a 85 millimeter Makey against an 85 millimeter Lumix. And it's fine to compare lenses, and it's fine to promote cameras new when they first come out, but depending on where you are in your photography career or in your photography experience, not everything applies to you. If they just put out a top of the line new Canon flagship camera, whatever it might be, if you're a beginner, that might not be what you need to hear. And if you're a photographer of 30 years and Zanico just put out a little mini flash, well, that's probably something you're not interested in. So it's kind of a fine-tuned process, in my opinion. It's finding your audience and having something for everyone. Because, if you just bought a great camera and I'm holding up a new camera saying this one's great, you don't need to go buy this camera I'm showing because you just bought one. Now, maybe it'll do one or two things yours want. That don't mean you need to change your whole world to go get a new camera, spend a ton of money just for one or two things that a camera will do. All cameras will basically do the same thing. You can get a good picture with a 10-year-old micro 4/3 camera. You can get a good picture with a brand new Canon R6 Mark III. So I think therein lies the problem for us all to figure out who belongs where. So, I'm trying to get information from you guys and feedback so that I know where my viewers are coming from so that I can work toward that direction. And I think when I'm doing reviews from now on, whether we're comparing a flash or a camera, I think it's a good idea that I might say this is more for those amateur photographers, or this is more for guys who've been shooting 30 years, to kind of clear up the air so that, a beginner doesn't run out and buy something that they really don't need. So, because if what can happen is if you spend all this money and instead of learning how to use your camera, you're buying gear, you're going to get frustrated really fast, and you're probably going to give up on photography when you shouldn't have. Because if you would have went the right direction, you could have fell in love with photography, could have made a career out of it, instead of getting frustrated and broke, which I've seen it happen. So that's something we're working on. That's something, I'm working on this channel. So if you guys want to drop a note down at the bottom and let me know where you are in your career or where you're trying to get in your career, that would be really helpful for us so we can kind of know where to go and kind of guide everybody. Because I think audiences are tired. They've seen the thumbnails, they've heard the phrases, and they know the pattern. And excitement without depth doesn't match. So we just need to work on what is relevant for each and every individual that's watching. I've seen photography channels explode, and I've seen them stop. I had a guy that I had been talking to. He was very knowledgeable. He was an expert on micro 4/3 gear. I loved watching his channel, and he no longer does it. There's another guy that's talking about quitting soon, and that really bothers me because these guys are really good at what they're doing. And I think sometimes everybody's looking for excitement. Oh, show me the new camera, show me the new lens, when you really need to get down to the basics. Because whether you're using a $10,000 camera or $300 camera, shutter, your aperture, and your ISO are still going to be on the camera. That's what's going to decide whether you make a good picture or not, not your $10,000 camera or your 15-year-old micro four thirds camera that costs $300. The channels that survive won't be the fastest or the loudest. They'll be the ones with something to say, experience, perspective. They'll be able to put things in context, stuff that you really need to know no matter what camera you have or what flash that you have. Things seem to be shifting from putting gear over thinking and using little hacks instead of thinking. And instead of using judgment, they're replacing it with gear. And when the bubble pops, that'll be what remains. Now, our channel, we're not here to chase releases. Now, if there's a release coming out, and Lumix is probably not going to send me one of the brand new cameras because our channel's not that big. But if they did, I would probably show it to you. But on our channel, I never show you guys anything that I don't like or use myself. Very, very little do I have something that I've shown you guys that I don't actually use myself. I want to use it every day, but it has a place. Even these small little mini flashes that I show you guys, they're great for travel, great for fun. Throw them in your pocket. You're flying off to California or somewhere, and take one with you. They're great. But I'm not saying go shoot a wedding with one. I think we just need to get to the understanding of where everybody is in their career so we can focus on helping people without them getting burned out, without them going broke in the process and getting frustrated and not liking photography anymore, because photography, even right now, I guess this is exactly year number 43 for me. I'm not necessarily burned out on photography. It's always been a job for me. It never, even when I started, photography was a job for me. It was never a hobby. When I first started, it was a job, and it's always been a job for me, but I still enjoy it. But I had people teaching me, so I didn't go down the wrong road like a lot of people can to get burned out. I had people to keep me in line straight, saying, do this, don't do that. And it really helped. And here I am 43 years later. If photography on YouTube feels noisy right now, that's good, because that means people are starting to listen. And when people start to listen and when the noise fades, then clarity will return. So I just kind of want to know where everybody is in their photography career right now. Are you a brand new beginner? Have you been shooting a long time? Do you have questions? I used to shot Canon for 42 years. Now I mostly shoot Lumix. They're both great systems. Which one would I recommend? Depends on what you're going to do. It's the same thing with the flash, same thing with the camera, same thing with any recommendations. Like I was talking about the 85mm lens comparison we've got coming up. It's mostly for portraits. If you're doing, say, sports, something like that, then really the 85mm comparison doesn't matter to you, because you're not using a lens like that. You're not going to take an 85mm and go out and do much wildlife with it. You're going to need long lenses for that. So we just kind of need to learn what lane we're all in and focus on what we need individually, because on the other hand, if I find a 300mm or 400mm zoom lens and you're a wedding photographer, you're probably not going to need that. And I know some wedding photographers use really long lenses at times, but it would be unusual to carry around a lot of 400mm lenses for a lot of wedding photographers. So I don't want you guys to get frustrated if you're not picking it up, like you just bought a new camera and you thought that would improve things. That's not going to improve things. We've got to get back to basics. We need to start back teaching the shutter speed and the shutter triangle, and teaching what aperture does and ISO and what it does. And once you learn all that, then it applies to any camera that you buy, and you're good to go. I don't care. You can take a 15-year-old micro four thirds camera and outdo a brand new Canon R6 Mark III if you know what you're doing and the other person doesn't. It's not about the gear, it's about the knowledge. So our channel is going to be heading in that direction. Now, like I said, we're going to continue to do reviews because I think that's important, especially now when there's not a camera store local, unless you live in New York, where you can go to Adorama or B&H. I'm in Atlanta, and we don't even really have a big camera store. So you don't get to hold cameras and see cameras like you used to. Back in the 90s, I would always get to go to the store, hold the camera, try it out before I bought it. Now you see a picture of it online. So it's harder to do things. You're like, well, I wonder how good this looks, I wonder how it feels. And since you can't touch it and use it anymore, you need somebody that you can depend on to show it to you and show you what it does by shooting real life projects. That's why when I compare things, I am normally shooting a person. I don't shoot a lot of pictures on walls, a lot of charts, because that doesn't really matter. I want to know how a portrait lens is going to shoot a portrait, not how a portrait lens is going to shoot a picture on the wall. So I think that's what's important. So anyway, guys, we're just trying to make our channel better, make this channel for everybody at any point in their photography career or just hobby. We want to make this your home. We want everybody to feel comfortable here. There's no question that is too stupid to ask. Believe me, I've asked many of myself in my life, so no worries on that. I've got you beat already. But I appreciate all you guys listening. And I just want to be here to help people. People helped me get started and gave me a 42-year career doing it. And I appreciate those guys. And I want to be able to pay it forward to other guys, whether you're new, whether you've been shooting a long time, whatever the case may be. I want you to think, oh yeah, Daniel Martin Photography, that's where I need to go. Ask him a question or watch one of the videos, because we will help you. If there's something that you've got that you don't want to write at the bottom, my email is down at the bottom. You can email me and I'll write you back on email. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. Thank you for your time. And we're going to get this thing right for everybody and try to get this all fixed up good so that it fits for everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. You guys have a great day.